Good morning, everyone. This is Wednesday, March 18th. It's 10 o'clock, 10:05 in the morning. If this were a normal world, we would be gathering in the fellowship hall for our midweek Lenten service with Pastor Lydia's teaching on the gifts, God's gifts to the church. But this is not a normal world right now, and I'm at home. Just a few pieces of information to know about. First of all, we've gone ahead and we've closed the office to outside visitors. You can Cindy comes to the office, but we have the window kind of blocked up. She has some underlying health vulnerabilities, but the reality is to keep our church going. There's just work that has to be done at the office because that's where the equipment is. And so she comes into the office and she is available to check the mail and to um, check emails. And then if we need to send things out in the mail, she can do that from the office. It would be hard to do that in any other way. So you can call the office, you can email. If you need to drop something off, just call ahead and she'll tell you how to do that. But we're trying to really limit the interaction that we have um, with folks. The Another piece of information is I already have the bulletins up on our website for next Sunday. The order of service is going to be shortened, and it's going to be basically the adaptive service each Sunday or each service. The 9:45 is a little different than 11:15 still, but the order of service is going to be shortened. I'm making the decision that this Sunday we're going to broadcast the service from our home instead of even going out to the church. The amount of time that we can limit people being out on the road and interacting, this is the critical time for our nation and for our area. These This week, next week, and really the week after. If we can limit how often people go out and how often people interact with each other, we have a real chance of getting ahead of the curve of this growth of the virus. And so, with that in mind, we're going to broadcast from our home. We have a piano and a couple other instruments that we can use. So for now, this is what we can do. Hopefully, you have one more of the pre-consecrated little individual communion sets. We do have some at the office, and so again, if you call ahead and you need more, if you call ahead, we can provide you with some. We have about in the office right now. We have about I'd say about 250 to 300. So we can distribute them if you want to swing by, just straight from your home to the church and back. We could do that. Um, the other option is if you have the grape juice, if you have a bottle or if you have a jar of or thing of grape juice and you want to open that up and pour the grape juice from the consecrated um, set into your grape juice, that kind of consecrates the whole grape juice container. So you'd have plenty of consecrated grape juice, and I suppose you could do that for a bottle of wine as well. It's not that much, but mixed up, it should be fine. Um, that's another option. It's Concord grape is the kind of grape juice that's in those little things. We are looking ahead to Easter. Uh, a few even as recently as last Sunday, I was thinking maybe we could have outdoor Easter services with 50 people max, and right now that doesn't even seem to be a possibility. But one idea I am kicking around, and I'm going to do some more research on, is the possibility of having a drive-in worship service. where people come to the church, they park their cars, they stay in their cars. We have a worship that we broadcast through what's called a whole house FM transmitter that has a pretty decent range, and you would be able to listen to the service just using your car radio tuned to the right frequency. We'd let you know what that frequency is. So that's a possibility. And then handing out again communion with those little sets, and maybe some other things. So that's an idea I'm thinking about right now. We'll see what we can do, but for the meantime, that seems like the only possibility really of getting a large number of people at the church. As long as everyone stays in their cars, keeps their windows rolled up, it should be okay. But that would be a way of at least seeing each other, even if we can't really interact with each other directly. Just trying to be as creative as possible to deal with the situation. We're going to be calling around, systematically calling through our directory to check in with everyone. Look for those phone calls. If you need anything, again, you can call the church office and you can call me. Our numbers are published, or the church numbers are published in the bulletin. And then on the answering machine, you have my phone number. And because this video is going live to the whole world, I don't necessarily want to give out my phone number in the video itself, but it's just look up the church number, and then you can get a hold of me. Last Saturday, again, we had our community breakfast. We gave out about 100 meals, and then the extra food we brought over to the HEP shelter on Betty Lane. We were also able to give out a number of socks and health kits to folks. All the socks that we had out, new socks, were picked up, and quite a few health kits, and even a few of the little Baycare hand sanitizers we were able to give out to some folks. So it seemed to work out okay. There is a video about that on our website, or on our YouTube channel. I think if it isn't on our website, I'll put it up. Speaking of videos on our website, last Sunday's services are now up on our website itself on the worship services tab. So you can check those out if you haven't seen them already. Hope everyone's doing well. Again, the key here is to limit your physical interaction with as many people as possible. Be good to each other, be kind to each other. Everybody's in this, everybody's frustrated, everybody's scared. And this is a generational challenge. This will be this is part of world history. People will be studying this for hundreds of years, and hopefully this is the only one that we have to deal with in our lifetimes. But like this, but we're doing the best we can, and we will get out of this. There will be a time in which the virus has been controlled, and there will be a time in which the virus is treatable. There'll be a time in which the virus may even be able to be immunized against. So in the meantime, though, we have to just deal with the reality of the situation. And so again, like I said, take time to pray, take time to practice contemplative prayer, in which you take the opportunity to listen to God, and be good to each other. If you are able to completely isolate yourself from any other people for 2 weeks, and so that you've had no opportunity to be infected from anyone else, and then if there's another family or a social unit that has also been able to completely isolate themselves from anyone else, any other vector to be um, any other vector to be become infectious. After a couple of weeks, as long as those two units stay isolated, they can begin to interact with each other in a safe way. But it takes complete isolation for 2 weeks to know that all of the people involved are not infected. So that's one reason. That's a good incentive to be as safe as possible. Um, so if you can stay isolated that long, then there's a possibility of interaction, personal interaction with others to clock over, because there's always a chance that you picked it up from someone or somewhere on the store. So again, working on the technical things, it looks like the lighting behind me is the camera's having trouble figuring out if it's light or dark. So that's what that flashing is. So I'll do better next time. But in the meantime, we're going to keep trying to do what we can do to uh, to stay connected, and appreciate all your patience. And we have a huge challenge in front of us, and it's so frustrating because it looked like we were just on the very edge of finally being able to achieve this year a stability financially, and continue to grow our ministries with the adaptive service, with the Grace Fellowship, for the arts, with the community breakfast continuing, and Lydia's Closet, and all those things that make our congregation so special and so necessary for our community. And so this kind of sets us back in that. But again, we're going to be as creative and as dedicated as possible to making sure that this situation is one in which we get through it, and in some ways even become stronger for it afterwards. So if you have any questions, you can call the church office, and we'll be happy to answer those questions for you. Or you can email as well. So take care, everyone, and stay safe, be smart, and be kind. Thank you so much.